through with the cleanup process. He also assured that funding is not a problem of the Ogoni cleanup. Professor Zabe also disclosed that HYPREP has completed work on low-risk sites and has begun work on medium-risk area, also saying that it has 39 sites in that category. The professor also said he will be employing the services of some young people to monitor the ongoing activity of the cleanup in Ogoni. So again, how comfortable are representative of the young people, particularly with Professor Zabe saying he would employ 500 youths for security surveillance of cleanup sites and other facilities in the Ogoni area. And to talk about this in this next leg of the show, Comrade Matthew Dige is the National President, Indigenous Youth Council of Ogoni People, and is joining us now. Good morning, Comrade Matthew. Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us on Point Blank. Let us begin with the recruiting of 500 youths. How do you take this?
Shago, I think there's a whole lot of things is going on in Ogoni right now, and my greatest surprise, hearing of the story of 500 youths, but there's a whole lot of things that we really need to know or we really need to understand in this HYPREP issue or whatever they call it. Because this thing have taken so long in Ogoni, and I really believe I will follow up this issue for the past 12 years in Ogoni. And then I'm still looking forward to see what they are doing in Ogoni. And I can categorically say without fear or threat, they have never given us what we really want in that land.
So what do you want?
Yeah, what really would you want as Ogoni youth? This report was given to the federal government in August 4th, 2011. And up to this day, I can't boast of anything, I can't proud of anything. Besides the youth. Now, this issue of Ogoni Clean-up was initiated by Ogoni people, informed by the leader, which is Ken Sarwewa, and that resulted to the death of Ken, of environmental degradation of Ogoni people. So I don't think you will just come from nowhere and take this issue for granted or take it for political interest or political selfish interest, whatever they call it. We don't want things like that. I am following up carefully for 11 years today. I've been in this struggle voluntarily for 13 good years now. And I think I will not take it for granted. They should not take it for granted. Enough is enough for treating Ogoni people for second class.
So again, Comrade Matthew, are you saying Professor Zabe is not doing the right thing? Because the last guest we have, Gani Toba, he said he has not seen anything wrong with what Professor Ninibarine Zabe is doing at the moment. And for him, right now, things seems to be going right. Is that your view as well?
No.
Why no?
Why no is this? The report, when presented to the federal government or people in charge, the report needed the emergency measure out of 2011 to take some major issue, like the water, center of excellence, and continental shortage, and all that should be put in place. That's a emergency measure. This is what they are doing now called remediation. So what to be the last project that we have done in Ogoni. And this project takes 30 good years we are talking about. And 12 years have gone in this project and nothing has been done in Ogoni. Nothing. Not even the center of excellence have been built. Not even the continental center have been built. Not even light. Not even water. I'm from where? The oil producing community in Ogoni. Nothing has been done in that land. How did they employ the youth for training? How did they train this youth? Is it to take them to Norway or state school one Bori and say they are training youth? This is an international institution, or this is an international issue. They should not take us for granted for Christ's own land. It's very painful. It's very unavoidable. Life has gone ground for this issue.
So again, but let me just point to what Professor Ninibarine Zabe said. According, when he was speaking at the roundtable, the national roundtable, he said, and I quote him, he said, HYPREP has completed work on low-risk sites and has begun work on medium-risk areas, adding that it has 39 sites in this category. Are you aware of those 39 sites?
39 sites, and there are oil splitting going on in Ogoni.
Where precisely?
Ibubu. There's oil splitting going on in Ibubu recently. Is it also? There's oil split that is always going, what they call it, Bordeaux. Is it also? So what are the oil said that they're talking about? What are we talking about is this, Shengo. Let me just cool down and then let me just look and see if I'm going to know it. I really appreciate what they are doing. I'm not going against that. But the truth must be done. The truth must be said, must be given out for this issue. The fact we are seeing is this. For me, as the indigenous president of, the national president of the Indigenous Youth Council, for me, I'm still giving them a way for them to understand nothing has been done in Ogoni. My reason is this. When this report was given to the federal government and was done by the United Nations in 2011, and the report stated categorically that there should be there is an emergency measure to be done in Ogoni, like hospital, light, water, road. When we talk about the environment, we talk about the life of the people. What impact have this environmental issue have come to the Ogoni people? How did they benefit it? The one that pains me so much, let's take the problem. I better speak English, I'm going to bring that down first. The one that pains me so much, the office of the so-called the HYPREP, for their own understanding, the office of the HYPREP is not in Ogoni traditional headquarters. How does the youth have access to this information to understand what is going on? Where did they recruit the youth from? The office of the Youth Council, assuming, which is the highest organization of the youth. How did they recruit? How did they have the database of this youth?
You know, DJ, you know, why we're interested in what you are saying is because when HYPREP said it is recruiting 500 youth, you reacted to that and you said it is a lie, that you are challenging HYPREP to show who these 500 youths are, that HYPREP is recruiting. Are you saying there's no recruitment going on amongst the youths?
See, I'm very, very hungry. Honestly, I'm hungry. It pains me so much because I'm from where? They call it Yola. In Ogoni land, in Canada local government. I'm from that community precisely.
So nobody from your community has been recruited?
How did they recruit? How did they put this, that we call database? How did they work on this thing? Because there's a situation you will find yourself, and you know that social people have gone to this level, those people have gone to this level. So how did they work on this? The issue is this. They should not take this Ogoni issue for politics. We are not going to accept it again. A lot of youth have been suffering so badly in that land. It's painful. That land has suffered what we call genocidal for so many years ago. And if they are trying to do something good to that people, they should be extremely careful. Extremely be careful. Now, for instance, let me come point to this journey now. If they say they are trying to train what they call 500 youth, some time ago, Professor is not the first coordinator of HYPREP.
Okay.
Mrs. Joy here was first coordinator of HYPREP. In 2011 to 2012, I precisely I could know that. It was the former president of this country, Buhari, came in his campaign in Ogoni in 2015. He said in 100 days in office, he will do what they call it, implement the Ogoni Unit report. And so
I'm not sure that your fact is correct because I also know that Vice President Yemi Osinbajo.
I'm coming. Yes. Then in that 2015 or so, there was a flag up of the so-called UNEP report in Bodo. Was done by the Vice President you are talking about. Now in 2016, or thereabout or so, within June or so, that's where they create the so-called Board of Trustees and Governing Council attached to the so-called coordinator. This coordinator was done, as I said initially, 2011 or so, 2012, by the then President Jonathan, who established all the... But my point is, let me put something on this table today for the first time. This is my first time being in your studio. My 13 years in this struggle, I have never come to radio to say anything that is not having fact. That thing called HYPREP, naturally what we have been in that report is Ogoni Environmental Restoration Authority.
Okay, so let us move away from that because you see, I am particularly interested in your allegation that HYPREP has not recruited any youth.
Nothing.
Now, again, you're talking about database, that HYPREP should show you the database with it used to recruiting the youth. Again, there are several youth organizations in Ogoni land, and you will agree with me on that. Your own organization, which is the National Indigenous Youth Council of Ogoni people, is not the only youth organization in Ogoni land. That your organization was not consulted, does it mean that other youth organizations in Ogoni were not consulted?
Shagun, there's a whole lot of things going wrong somewhere. There's a lot of things happening in Ogoni. You listen to my statement very carefully. I said I've been in this struggle voluntarily, selflessly for 13 good years. If when you are in security, you work quite intelligently, right? I go carefully to understand what is going on. I'm not from Akwa Ibom. I'm not from Oyo. I'm from Ogoni son. I have carefully see what brought me to this station is hunger. Hunger to my people. When you take my people for granted, when you take them for selfish of your own interest. And the reason why the Indigenous Youth Council of Ogoni have risen up to take this bull by the horn is to let them to understand if they really want to do the thing rightly to the Ogoni youth or to the Ogoni people, they should come down on a round table for a genuine stakeholder meeting.
So what is the Indigenous Youth Council of Ogoni people willing to do in this light?
What we are willing to do, we are going to monitor. We should let them just call for a review of that report.
Which of the reports?
The UNEP report.
Okay.
Because from 2011, August 4th, to this day, it's 12 years now. I can tell you today, Shegun, let them give me one symbol, one thing we can boast of for 12 good years now. And this issue is about 30 good years. And 12 years have gone. And let them talk. Look, somebody built 12 flyover for this state for 4 years.
Actually, 8 years. Because it was governor for 8 years.
Yes, I say 4 years. 12 flyover and other project was going on in River State. Let me give you this. I'm not going too far to that side. Now, you are talking about 12 good years. My annoyance here today, let them hear me cry. Let them hear my cry today. The Center of Excellence, they said they went to launch, or what do they call it? My brother, they should not take this issue for granted. In the international war, the war called Center of Excellence in Netherlands, in Hague, it's controlled the environmental issue in Europe. In Africa today, they say it's an environmental Center of Excellence should build in Ogoni land, and people just come one early morning and take the issue for granted. Why did they do that?
Well, fantastic. You're listening to Point Blank, and I'm having a conversation with Comrade Matthew Digi. Comrade Matthew Digi is the National President, Indigenous Youth Council for Ogoni People. He is challenging the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project to show the database with which it said it used in employing 500 Ogoni youth. According to the National President, Indigenous Youth Council of Ogoni People, he said HYPREP has not done anything, and he also described the alleged employment of 500 youth for security surveillance of cleanup sites and other facilities in Ogoni as untrue. Actually, he said it's false news, and he has said HYPREP, as far as is concerned, has failed. Would you agree with these allegations made by Comrade Matthew Digi? And again, we just would encourage one or two calls on this particular one, 07050791021 and 0811743121. I will take some calls here before we move on and look at other issues. We just try and just get all those calls coming in. And good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Point Blank. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Shegun.
Thank you for joining us.
My name is Domenem, calling from Port Harcourt.
Domenem, good morning.
Good morning, my brother, Matthew.
Good morning, my brother.
Okay, I want to speak about the recruitment of 5,500.
It's 500, that's what we have.
500 youth of Ogoni for surveillance. Well, that is true, because those that are employed are the Ogonis, yes. If you're not consulted and your brothers have been recruited, my brother, thank them for recruiting your brothers. This cry you are crying today will have been channeled to when the HYPREP.
Okay, let's take this one. Hello, good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Point Blank. Again, the number to call. Okay, we have Dominion back. Dominion, thank you so much.
Okay, sorry, network. This cry my brother is crying today in the studio should have been channeled to the workers of HYPREP. To look at those staff that were employed by HYPREP. And not when the first time they employed their brothers, 500 indigenous youth for surveillance, and we are crying on the radio. No, this cry should be first channeled to those that are employed are administrative staff in HYPREP, because 80% are not Ogoni. And nobody thought about it. Because people are employed now, nobody's coming to cry. No, I don't believe that.
Okay.
If you think something is wrong, channel it to the right time.
Thank you so much, Dominion. Thank you so much. I think you've made your point. I'm just going to take another one. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. This is Point Blank.
Yeah, Shegun, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Dr. Henry Pune, calling from Way. Yes, I most sincerely commend the effort and zeal, of my young friend in the studio there, about his concern, for Ogoni and his desire to see things done properly. But I think what he needs more is education. And he should approach the public affairs department of HYPREP and seek information. If he does, I think he will be well informed, and some of these things he's very agitated about, there will be clarification, and he will be better informed and will act in a better manner. So I think you should approach HYPREP and get information to get yourself updated. I think quite a lot of things are going on.
Okay, thank you so much, Doc. Thank you so much. Let me just take this one now. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning, my friend, Matthew. My point is, you see, the issue of this point Matthew is making is actually correct. Because those, Ogoni as an ethnic region and the principal ethnic place of the senior center, supposed to have a license of report to the panel. So going to Port Harcourt or wherever is just a nightmare. I really don't believe in what the scholars, the last scholar just said, because they're actually doing the right. There are some critical stakeholders that were supposed to be consulted. As I speak with you, as a grassroots man, I can tell you categorically that the authorities are serious angry. And I want to also advise Martin to, initiate a sample or an interactive session that will attract this to their mind. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I think we got your point. So, Comrade Matthew, again, one of the callers said perhaps you need to meet with HYPREP to find out who those people that were employed are. And maybe you meet with the call. Have you done that? Have you sought audience with HYPREP to say, no, you are challenged and you want to know they should give you the identity or the database with which they use in employing these young people?
Thank you very much. Let me come down and explain this thing better for them to understand. If you listen to me very carefully, I said I was like watching when the report was given out in 2011.
That is the UNEP
report 2011. I was supposed to be in the scene at that time. But I will not go far on that issue right now. I told you carefully here that I follow up because as a protest I did in Wapajo some time ago at that time when the former Secretary General of United Nations came to Nigeria. And I came to let them to us, which I called the attention. By then, I called the attention and said, look, they should come on a round table, we call it a genuine round table talk with the Ogoni people and the multinational oil company, and let's come out with a blueprint on how this thing is going to look like. This is a technical issue you are talking about. It's not a jambulu issue. And I've been in Nigeria, I understand what is happening in this country, the kind of politics is going on. I understand it. But to be sincere with you, Shegu, I'm from Ogoni. What affect my people affected me too. If I don't enjoy this thing you are talking about, then it also affect me too. I'm talking about the children that's coming up too. This environmental issue is not a Kambalu issue. It's not an issue you just knock the bed and say you have done what you have done. If you listen to my issue very carefully, I'm not going for anybody, but I'm trying to put something on the table where they need to understand. That way all this talk come out now.
So again, what I'm
saying is this. For me, as Ogoni's son, for me, Comrade Matthew Diggy, I challenge whosoever from Ogoni, except you don't love Ogoni. I challenge anybody who says something is going on in Ogoni land on this HYPREP issue.
Okay.
I make myself clear to you that I'm from Pea, a oil producing community.
And you're not seeing anything happen.
Like what? For 12 years. I'm talking about 12 years now.
Now,
and this project is talking about 30 good years.
Comrade Diggy.
Now, the office of the HYPREP.
If you allow me, Comrade Diggy, because we've had two callers to say that they can confirm that the employment of the youth is going on. You are saying, okay, they should provide a database they use for this employment. Again, the question is, have you approached HYPREP?
Okay.
And also, again, you're saying that the real component of the cleanup is not going on. And I've just also showed to you what HYPREP is saying.
Okay, Shegu, let's make it this way. If you said, or if they say 500 youth, Shegu, you are a human being like me. There are offices, like for instance, if you are from Ogoni, I wanted to have a job, they will ask you to go to your local government to collect, what they call it?
Letter of identification. Yeah.
You know why they do that? Is to clarify the people or whosoever you are going with, that you are really from that local government also. Now, if I'm giving instance, I'm not good, I'm trying to put something on ground for them. Now, if you say you are employed 500 Ogoni youths, I cannot tell you I'm going against that. And naturally, listen to my point very carefully. I'm not saying I'm going against that. But my fear and my threat, which I know are from Ogoni, it does not work.
No, it does not work, or you're trying to say the youth were not employed? Because when you say it does not work, I don't understand it.
When I say it doesn't work, is this: how does this employment goes?
Okay, I want to see the process.
Let me say, I want to see the process. We are all from Ogoni.
Okay,
it might not be me. I'm not going against that. It might be somebody by my side, according to the Christian. Now, what you know is this: there must be a process that this thing will be channeled to. Now, the process we are talking about, which I brought down the database there, like for instance, this is the office of the Youth Council, for assuming, and I say, okay, the office of the Youth Council, they have already brought out, let me say, 500 youth, I said, and all of us know carefully, without bias, because it belongs to all of us, that these youth will bring in, like say, two for each of the communities, you know, that kind of a thing. We also have a youth president in those community. You know, that what we call a due process.
Okay, so again,
I'm giving instances.
I just want to try, because when you talk about this due process, that you are not aware of the due process does not mean that the due process was not followed. It might just be because you are not aware. Don't you think so? And again, we also have other leadership structure in Ogoni land, and this other leadership structure may just be aware of what is going on. So again, you have raised a big issue, and you're challenging the management of HYPREP to come to the open to say to people who these 500 people are. But again, the onus also lies on you to investigate. You should find out as one who's representing.
I have made this point clear severally that I'm from Ogoni. I'm not saying I'm from Yoruba or from Ibadan. I'm from Ogoni. And I also mentioned the name of my community. Now,
are you saying there's no one person from your community that's been employed?
I'm coming. There are things we need to know. This issue of Ogoni Clean-up, as I said it clearly here, that is an issue that you will not take it for granted.
Okay.
It's for everybody. Everybody fought for this issue. It's environmental degradation of Ogoni people.
All right.
Now, what I'm trying to say is this. If I will give any kudos to them first, where's the office of the Youth Council? One, where's the office of HYPREP in Ogoni land? There is what we call Bori, the traditional headquarters. For instance, I'm giving instances. The traditional headquarters of Ogoni, Bori. These people of Ogoni or other tribe people, they can have access to this thing.
But you know where the office is in Port Harcourt, don't you?
Port Harcourt or Ogoni land? I don't know why they do this kind of thing. Port Harcourt or Ogoni land? You see, I'm a member of the Niger Delta Ethnic Nationality Youth Council. Okay. I'm a member of PANDEV, River State Chapter. I'm a member of the Nigeria Ethnic Nationality. I'm a member of the Southern Nigeria Ethnic Nationality Youth Council. I have gone through a whole lot of things for these 13 years I'm talking about. I understand the politics and game they are playing in Ogoni land.
Let me ask you this.
My view is this.
Comrade, let me ask you this. You will listen to me, Comrade Matthew, because we need to begin to wrap up this now. So what do you want to see?
First, my annoyance is this. That's the time they came to Ogoni. Why I'm trying to do all this for them? That's the time they come to Ogoni and say they are doing what we call a medical outreach to the people. And I ask a question. In a polluted environment, you are doing a medical outreach. Let them mention one hospital that was built in Ogoni. One hospital that, you know, we talk about HWO, that World Health Organization.
WHO.
Yeah,
World Health
WHO.
Organization. Yeah.
Their report came up too and said the water we are taking from that place is about 95% benzene.
I want you to answer my question. You're not answering my question.
I'm coming now.
What do you want to see?
Well, what I want, because earlier is better now. Delay is dangerous.
Okay.
We are talking about the unborn children. What I'm saying that there is nothing is happening in Ogoni land on that Ogoni Clean-up.
Again, that's not a
There's
question.
two. Wait, I'm coming now.
Yeah.
What I want to come on the round table, they should call for a genuine joint stakeholder meeting.
Okay.
With the Ogoni people that matters. There are people that matters in Ogoni who fought for this environmental degradation. We cancel we were.
Must this roundtable just beg your pardon? Must this roundtable include your organization? If it doesn't include your organization, if you're not considered as one of those you consider as genuine, would that be going against what you want?
I'm from Ogoni.
Okay.
I'm from Ogoni. I have the solution to this issue.
All right. Comrade, I want us to put it out because you're very, very clear. What I can hear you say right now is that so many people are not carried along. And you feel from your community, though we cannot verify that, not one person have been employed. Am I correct? In the 500 people, am I correct from your community? Because you say you are monitoring that. Again, that's a very, very critical issue. So I'm just going to give you 60 seconds just to give your last word on this. Yes.
Shagun, to be honest with you today, let me put like what we really want in Ogoni is transparency, honesty, and sincerity to this cause. I said it clearly here that Ogoni has suffered so much on genocide. And what we really want is a technical report on this issue should be working very serious on that. Now, what really matters is that pains me so much is that what I read in that book called Ogoni Environmental Restoration Authority.
Okay.
Should be created or should be grown in Ogoni land, and the Center of Excellence and the so-called Soil Continental Management Center, that kind of a thing. Now, let's go to this point carefully. They are doing remediation now, which is this side, what they call impacted side, Now, where are they taking that soil to test?
Well, again, those are the questions that HYPREP can answer. But again, we quite appreciate your view, particularly on the issue. We need to round up.
I'm coming up now.
Yes.
Now, the Center of Excellence.
Yes.
Would be part of when you say you are training Ogoni youths.
Okay.
Because when you train them finish, they will all come back in that Center of Excellence. That kind of thing. To put to set up what called Ogoni environmental protection agencies. Now, like for instance, now when they say they finish the cleanup for Ogoni now, I will call you and say, oh yes, please now happen for a bubu, or yes, happen for Bodo.
So how do you want to again? Again, let me just put it very clear to you. What we know, HYPREP said, is that the 500 youth will be employed for security surveillance of cleanup sites and other facilities, not a training. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But again, you like your perception and you like your view, and your view is that you have not seen anything about the cleanup. You've now seen the youths being employed by HYPREP, and you are challenging HYPREP to tell them one person from your community. Am I correct?
Not my community. I give my community as a case study, as an example, where Oye also was found in
Okay, and so to find out if youth from your place have been employed. Again, let us just leave it at that. Other issues, I believe, will be dealt with later on. But again, we must thank you, the National President, Indigenous Youth Council for Ogoni People, Comrade Martin. Again, I will feel your pains as well. Thank you so much. So we go on a short break, and we come back shortly to begin to wrap up the show.
The other stations, they try to be like us. But we are the super station of the city.
Turn it up.
We are Super FM.
Tell everyone you know.
Wherever you are.
Take my horse to the
You can get Super FM.
Super FM.
Great news!
Hear this.
The Super FM Marketing Studio is now situated in the unique business district of Port Harcourt, GRA.
Broadcasting live.
To advertise your products and services, visit the Super FM GRA studio and marketing office on the second floor Vineyard Plaza, 88 GRA Phase 2 Port Harcourt, or call us on 091-5729-0709. We are Super FM.
Oh yes, our people talk say na delay dey make fowl no fit fly like other bird in meat.